Okay. Hello, Professor. This is Faith Sinchenko, and this is my problem identification interview with my consultee, Sunny Fagalde. Alright, so please, Sunny, describe Ava's non-compliant or aggressive behavior towards you.
Okay, so on a daily basis, Ava, my 3.5-year-old daughter, she lashes out aggressively, whether it's verbal or physical, but in response to whether I tell her to do something or I tell her no.
Okay.
But she would say, it would just be words that hurt, or she would throw things, or it just lashes out aggressively.
Can you give me an example of something that she says?
She'll say, I don't like you anymore, you're not invited to my party, don't touch me, stop it, words like that.
Okay, so that's all examples of what Ava does when she is angry or upset. Also, you told me earlier throwing.
Yes, she throws whatever she has in her hands or what is in front of her. She'll push it off a table or she'll chuck it on the floor.
So I guess if there was one specific behavior that is the most difficult to deal with.
Well, I would think, both of them is pretty difficult, but it's mostly the words.
The verbal?
Yeah, the verbal, I feel like she not only says it to us, she probably says it outside of the house, and that concerns me, socially.
So I guess from your perspective, you're not at school, but where does Ava do the behavior the most?
Usually during the mornings when we're rushing to get her dressed and off to school, or bedtime, both of which we're asking her to do something, and we're stressed and we're trying to get her to do things that she doesn't want to do.
Okay. So it's basically anything that you put a demand on her or ask her of something and she is non-compliant.
Correct.
And then that leads to her getting angry.
Yes. It leads to a power struggle.
Okay.
Between the of us, or the three of us.
So I guess if there's a consistent pattern, what happens before usually? So it's just you saying no?
Well, it usually starts off with she's doing something, playing, or something that she chooses to do. We come in and say, hey, Ava, it's time for bath, or it's time to get your nightgown or whatever, and she'll ignore it first, and then when we become more forceful, she gets angry, says mean words, or she'll throw her toys in anger, and she usually just ends up crying, because Daddy has to step in and say, get in there now.
Okay. And then I guess what happens after the behavior? So when it's a power struggle and, Daddy says, get in there now, does she eventually comply? Or is it like you physically have to take her? Or
most of the time we physically have to take her. Well, I take a little more time than my husband does. I try to do it less forcefully.
More patience.
Yeah, but it takes a little longer. My husband would just put her in the bathtub, and she'll be screaming and crying, and but yeah, it takes a little while to calm down.
Okay. So I guess this is kind of an obvious question, but when does the behavior not occur, I guess?
When she's doing whatever she wants to do.
When
there is no power struggle.
When it's her preferred activity?
Yes.
Okay. And then, I guess what is your idea of what would be the best way to handle her when she is aggressive?
Well,
besides not getting physical.
When it comes to her needing to do certain things in her daily routine, she knows her daily routine. I guess it's just a matter of warning her before we actually do it, so she has heads up, and then she needs to know she's got to do it, but she needs to control anger. She needs to recognize when she's getting frustrated, and be able to somehow communicate her anger without harsh words and physical throwing and
Okay, I guess how frequent does this behavior occur?
This is daily, like two times a day, 3 times a day.
At least 2-3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
If it doesn't happen in the morning, it's happening at night.
okay.
And there is also the factor of her not sleeping enough that makes her temperament not so agreeable.
Yeah. And I guess one last thing, the duration of it, like, could you estimate how long it lasts?
Well, it depends on how quickly we can diffuse it, but it can range from 5 minutes to 20 minutes.
Okay. So 20 minutes max.
20 minutes max. Yeah, usually she gets distracted by something else.
Okay. And I guess also what is Ava good at? That's something we could focus on that.
She is a very good helper. You ask her to help do something. I mean, she still has to be interested in it, but she will follow through. She'll do it really well.
So if we focus on maybe her helping, putting it in a perspective where she's helping,
Yeah, helping and having fun.
then she wouldn't get aggressive or she wouldn't get angry.
I mean,
No.
I don't know.
And then the last thing is for data recording. I was thinking that maybe event recording, which would be the tally, like, what's happening now, or it happens, 5 times a day, or 6 times a day, or
Mhm.
twice a day, or 3 times a day. Do you think you could do that? Is that convenient for you?
How long?
How long is the class? Maybe a couple weeks? Maybe 2 weeks?
Okay.
Possibly? I mean, well, maybe we could do like 7 days.
Okay, yeah.
Just to say it happened like twice today, 3 times today, or once today, or it didn't happen
Okay.
at all. To see if there's some type of pattern and like why it's happening and when it's happening
Okay.
and her behavior, yeah. So
Yeah, I'll do 7 days with detailed description, but
just it doesn't have to be too detailed. It could just be like a tally, like it's happening now, and
Oh,
it lasted
okay.
5 minutes.
okay,
Or
so you need a time. No?
that would help.
Okay.
I think that would help.
Okay.
So that's it. All right. Thank you, Professor. Hope this is good.